Esther, the immigrant queen who saved a nation, a story of power, intrigue, and divine destiny. Imagine a young woman, an orphan, a foreigner in a vast and powerful empire. She is unknown, unnoticed, until she is thrust into the heart of the most powerful kingdom on earth. But this is not just a story of beauty or royalty. This is a story of conspiracy, survival, and divine intervention. A story where a single decision changes the fate of an entire people. Welcome to Daily Bible. Today we uncover the breathtaking and mysterious story of Esther, the immigrant queen who risked everything to save her people from annihilation. This is not just a biblical tale. This is a real historical drama filled with deception, secret plots, and an ultimate battle between good and evil. Stay with us until the end, because what you are about to hear will change the way you see faith, courage, and destiny. The story begins in the heart of the Persian Empire, a vast and powerful kingdom stretching from India to Ethiopia. King Xerxes, known for his wealth and absolute rule, throws a lavish banquet that lasts 180 days, a festival of indulgence, extravagance, and unimaginable riches. But something shocking happens. His queen, Vashti, defies him. She refuses to appear before the king's guests, an act of rebellion that shakes the empire. In an instant, Vashti is deposed, banished from the throne. A decree is sent across the empire. Young women from all provinces must be brought to the palace. The king will choose a new queen. Among these young women is Hadassah, known as Esther, a Jewish orphan raised by her cousin Mordecai. She is taken from the safety of her home and brought into a world of royal intrigue, political manipulation, and hidden danger. But Esther is different. She possesses not only beauty but wisdom. She wins favor in the eyes of Haggai, the chief eunuch in charge of the women's quarters. He provides her with special food, beauty treatments, and the best place in the palace. Still, there is a secret she must keep. No one can know she is a Jew. Mordecai warns her. Her identity could mean life or death. One by one, the women are presented before the king. Some dazzle, some fail. But when Esther stands before Xerxes, something extraordinary happens. He is captivated. He places the royal crown on her head, an orphan, an immigrant, a foreigner, now the most powerful woman in the empire. But this is only the beginning. If you're enjoying this story, make sure to subscribe to Daily Bible so you don't miss more incredible biblical narratives. Because in the shadows, an enemy is plotting. Haman, the king's most trusted advisor, rises in power. He is arrogant, ruthless, and hungry for control. When Mordecai, Esther's cousin, refuses to bow before him, Haman is enraged. But he doesn't just want revenge on Mordecai. He wants genocide. He convinces the king to issue a decree. All Jews in the empire must be exterminated. Men, women, children, all to be wiped out in a single day. The decree is sealed with the king's ring, irreversible under Persian law. Panic spreads among the Jews. Mourning fills the streets. Mordecai sends a desperate message to Esther. You must go to the king. You must beg for our people's lives. But here's the problem. No one, not even the queen, can approach the king uninvited. To do so means death unless the king extends his golden scepter. Esther is faced with an impossible choice: remain silent and live, or risk everything to save her people. For 3 days she fasts, she prays, and then dressed in royal robes she walks toward the throne room. Every step is a moment of tension. If Xerxes does not extend his scepter, she will be executed on the spot. She enters, the room is silent, the king looks up. And then, he extends the golden scepter. Esther lives. But she must be careful. She doesn't reveal her request immediately. Instead, she invites the king and Haman to a banquet. That night, Haman is overjoyed. He believes he is being honored. But his hatred for Mordecai burns hotter. He orders a massive gallows to be built to execute Mordecai publicly. The next day, at the second banquet, Esther finally speaks. There is a plot to kill my people, she tells the king, and I am one of them. Xerxes is furious. Who is responsible for this? Esther turns to Haman. This vile man. Haman turns pale. He pleads for his life, but his fate is sealed. The king orders that Haman be executed on the very gallows he built for Mordecai. The decree against the Jews cannot be reversed, but Esther and Mordecai write a new decree. The Jews may defend themselves. On the appointed day they rise up and defeat their enemies. What was meant to be their annihilation becomes their victory. And so a foreign girl, an orphan, an immigrant, becomes the savior of her people. Her courage turns the tide of history. The Feast of Purim, still celebrated by Jews today, commemorates Esther's bravery. It is a festival of joy, a reminder that no matter how dark the times, faith and courage can bring about miraculous deliverance. The name Purim comes from the word pur, meaning lot or destiny, symbolizing that what was meant for destruction was turned into triumph. Another mystery. The book of Esther is one of the only books in the Bible where God's name is never mentioned, but his presence is woven throughout every detail, showing that even when we don't see him, he is working behind the scenes. Esther's story continues to inspire people across cultures and generations. Leaders, activists, and those facing persecution have drawn strength from her unwavering courage. The idea that one person can stand against injustice, even in the face of overwhelming odds, remains as relevant today as it was in ancient Persia. How many times have we remained silent when we should have spoken? How often do we let fear hold us back from doing what is right? Esther teaches us that courage is not the absence of fear, it is taking action despite the fear. Let me ask you, what would you have done in Esther's place? Would you have risked your life to save others? Tell us in the comments. And if this story moved you, if it inspired you, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Daily Bible so you don't miss our next deep dive into the mysteries of the Scriptures. Until next time, stay blessed and never be afraid to stand for what is right.